So you've heard me say before that our first principle of Unitarian Universalism, that all people have inherent worth and dignity, has much, or as much, or more evidence to its contrary than it does to support its claim. And so the truth of that first principle is therefore a matter of faith. Now, some might think that this assertion undercuts the power of that first principle, that by relying on faith, we weaken the affirmation. And I could not agree or disagree with that more. In fact, it is by faith that more power, especially personally transformative and sustaining power, is produced. Because faith requires something that fact does not. It requires conviction. And conviction is transformative. Certainly faith is a thing that can be and has been twisted and abused and used to abuse and hornswoggle, but that does not mean that faith all by itself is bad. In fact, faith is absolutely necessary. Every time we ease out of the driveway or set foot on a plane or go to sleep, every time we exhale, we engage in a small act of faith. Now, I say that merely to ease any tension that the word faith may hold for those of you who, when I say it, hear me making a theological proposition. Faith is not exclusive to God. Having said that, I do think it is true that the power of faith is relative to what that faith is placed in. You can place your faith in an utter fallacy, something entirely impossible. You can place your faith in malignancy, or something that upon closer inspection is narcissistic. Or you can place your faith in something that is both redemptive and possible. Faith in each of these will shape the faithful. And in this we have no choice. What we have faith in is something that requires discernment. But the fact that we have faith, as a matter of course, is not really debatable. Human awareness is not able to hold, process, or conceive of the breadth and depth of all that keeps us alive and well without the exercise of faith. To my thinking, faith is inescapable. What you place our faith in shapes us. And the faith of the tradition in which you sit is in the inherent worth and dignity of all people, and that is a powerful claim. It is absolutely a religious faith because it is the kind of faith that not only keeps us functioning, but also creates meaning in our lives. It calls us to be more than what we are. It connects us to something larger than we would be without it. So may I suggest you try it. I mean, I suspect that many, if not most of us, sort of treat that first principle like a to-do list of assumptions. We assume that everyone's good. Check. Next principle. Of course, our faith in this principle is bound to be disappointed. It is. And why wouldn't it be disappointed when we engage it as when we engage a foundational principle with a dismissive or nonchalant attitude? So how might things change for you if instead of saying that I assume or affirm that your own or my own worth and dignity are inherent, rather to say that I have faith in your or my inherent dignity? How would that change things in the midst of the disappointment and dismay when someone or ourselves fail to live up to the call? Do you hear the tenacity in faith that is lacking in affirmation? Do you hear the perseverance in faith, usurping the wine of victimhood and disappointment? Do you think transformation is possible, sustained transformation without tenacity and perseverance? No. I'll answer that for you. Not for you, for the person next to you. You got it, but the person next to you is struggling. Sustained transformation is not possible without tenacity and perseverance. And faith delivers those to us. Faith gives us the tenacity and perseverance to transform ourselves and the world because it operates beyond evidence. Beyond evidence. So I guess what I'm saying is that if we applied the same power of faith to our first principle that, say, a Pentecostal applies to their theology, then we can amplify its effects on our lives and thereby amplify our effect on the world. And so I would invite you into a little experiment this week or today. See if you can shift your vocabulary around that first principle. See if you can make it a matter of faith rather than affirmation. I'm not sure how you do that. That's work for you. I think it will probably take some real intentional reflection and reminding yourself throughout the week or the day, but see what it does. It's an experiment. It might do nothing. You might hate it. Or it might change your moment. It might change your day. It might change your interaction. It may change a whole perspective. It may invite change in another. It might start a revolution. It might save the world. Find tenacity and perseverance in the faith that all people are bequeathed with inherent worth and dignity. It is not possible otherwise.